Welcome to Maple Grove High School for the Section 5 4A boys basketball, our second semifinal. It's the number 5 seed, the Spring Lake Park Panthers, and the top seed, the Park Center Pirates. Good evening, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ariel McDonald, and boy, if we have a game anything like the first semifinal, Osseo and Champlain Park, what a wild one. And these teams were watching the end of it. I think they're probably getting pumped up just watching it.
You know, sometimes when you're waiting on your game to be played and then you see a young, energetic, both high school teams very young and energetic, that prior game, and then it's forced into an overtime, you know, the nerves really get going. So I'm sure both teams are really anxious to get onto the floor. It's going to be an interesting start, especially with the idea that they had to sit and wait and, you know, just kind of wonder when the game was going to be over until they started.
Park Center certainly had an excellent year, and they're the top seed, clearly the favorite coming into this game. But, you know, when it gets to be tournament time, you can't take anybody lightly. You can't take anybody for granted. They've played Spring Lake Park a couple of times already, but they have to be ready to come out and play because this Panthers team built a little confidence in their win over Roseville.
You know, for sure, at the end of the season, there's a degree of optimism. So whatever has taken place in the future, in the past, it's just in the past. So most of the times players are looking for the postseason to become a new opportunity, a new way to shine. And so for Park Center, even though they got the best of them in the prior two matchups, I mean, tonight is a whole different night, and I'm sure Spring Lake Park is looking to pull up the upset.
Let's talk about key players to look at in tonight's game. The Panthers are really a kind of a sophomore-dominated team. Blake Remy had a good game the last time against Park Center, and an even better one against Roseville in the quarterfinals, topping 30 points.
You know, word is he's a very good shooter. You know, can be streaky at some point in time, but, you know, his team relies on him heavy, so he's able to relax and play and just take free shots whenever he gets the opportunity. So Park Center definitely has to be careful with him, because if he catches fire, he can get hot and make it real difficult for them to win.
And for Park Center, they've got a lot of weapons on this team. A guy that I think sometimes gets overlooked a little bit, but DJ Prunella is a senior, good front court player, good scorer inside. He's done a lot of nice things for them.
You know, very experienced player. Last season played, you know, some minutes, wasn't heavily relied upon scoring, was more of a role player who defended and played strong on the perimeter, took out the opposing team's maybe leading scorer. Tonight that assignment will be his as well. So it's going to be very interesting. They match up in size, point differential between the two, but at the same time, both teams really relying on both players to make a contribution tonight for either team to win, Jay.
All right, we'll see who will advance to the championship to take on Osseo. It's Park Center and Spring Lake Park. Boys basketball here in the Section 5 tournament coming up next.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
And welcome back here to Maple Grove as Spring Lake Park and Park Center being introduced to the crowd here. Park Center winning the West Division of Northwest Suburban this season and a record of 23-4. And they struggled a little bit in their beginning of their quarterfinal game against Mountain View. So I think they kind of learned a lesson that, you know, you have to be ready from the opening bell, even against a team that you're, you know, quote unquote supposed to beat. And so they are hoping they are ready to go right from the get-go here. And Spring Lake Park also, you know, wanting to come in and carry that momentum from that first win. Joining us courtside tonight again will be Allie Arlt. Let's go to Allie.
Yeah, you guys talked about Myron and Remy at the beginning of the game and how each of them scored 30 points against Park Center just 4 games ago. So I asked Coach Ware, how do you plan on defending these two tonight? And he said, you know what, when it comes to Myron, he's a driver, and we need to play against him as that, not a shooter. We did that last game. It didn't work for us. As for Remy, he said, we just need to keep someone on him at all times and keep him away from the three-point arc. On the flip side, Coach Guzzi, I asked him, how do you defend Park Center's starting four that all average double digits? And he said, you know what, in that last game, all of their points came from live ball turnovers and 25 offensive boards. He said 25, that's way too much. Tonight we need to clean up our game and get on the boards, guys.
Thanks very much, Allie. And look at the starters for Coach Grant Guzzi on the Panthers. It's a couple of seniors and then 3 sophomores. The seniors are Ben Wan, number 14, and also the big guy inside, Elijah Elkerton. And then it's Jador Phillips along with Remy and Myron in the starting lineup. This will be a team to watch in the next couple of years, as will Park Center. They've got some key seniors, but they've also got some key younger players. Emmanuel Tamba, Tommy Chapman, Levante Parker, Jarius Cook, their top scorer, and DJ Prunella, the starters for tonight. They're a little bit shorthanded compared to what they used to be. Dane will play a lot tonight. He's coming back off an injury, and he's been kind of worked back into the lineup, but they're bringing him off the bench as a super sub. And then Kahari Broadway had to have his appendix taken out, and so he is not back and will not play the rest of the year, it looks like here. It'll be Parker jumping it up against Blake Remy as we get set to begin. Still a buzz in the air a little bit from that Osseo Champlin Park double OT game. Pirates control the tip and we're underway. Tamba. Here's Chapman with it at the top of the key. Back out to Jarius Cook. Man-to-man defense here for the Panthers. They pitch it inside. Here's Prunella getting it up off the glass. No good. A fight for the rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by PC. It'll be Panthers basketball.
You know, good offensive attack starting off the game. Looking to go low post. Normally with Danger in that lineup, they normally go down to him to try to maybe start off the game with an easy basket deep inside the paint. But they're going to stay, stick to the script. Even though Danger's not there, they're going to stick to their game plan, which is really use their size and try to attack the Spring Lake Park team.
And there's a turnover, and Coach Guzzi talked to us about how turnovers were really an issue for them the last time they played this Park Center team. There's a look at Grant, and the other thing is that he said, it's kind of a tough thing that they like to run themselves too, but you don't really want to get in a running game with Park Center. I don't think they can outscore this Pirates team if it's an up and down, 90-point game.
This PC team has spent a lot of time this summer, as we see the nice little inside putback there, but spent a lot of time this summer in the weight room, really paying the price. And now they have a combination of speed and power, so that's what makes it difficult for them if you want to, or let's say for the opposing team, if you want to go up and down with them.
And there's Cook with the steal on that attempted pass out. Here's Chapman. Back for Jarius Cook. Lost the handle. It's going to be out off his leg. It will be Spring Lake Park ball, so a little bit of a sluggish start. There's a look at Grant Guzzi.
For Park Center, you certainly don't want any unforced turnovers by your team. You want to force their opponent to some unforced turnovers, so they don't want to mix and match with Spring Lake Park, because Spring Lake Park, they can catch fire, and all of a sudden it becomes a game.
Pull-up jumper from the free throw line will not drop there from Myron, and it's last touch by Spring Lake Park, so the Pirates will inbound.
I don't know about you, Jay, but it seems like the atmosphere right now is just everyone trying to get back into the groove of this game, because that prior game was just really exciting and a great finish by Osseo at the end.
Chapman the miss, but Remy couldn't control the rebound. Park Center gets another crack at it, and Cook misses. Phillips with the rebound here for Spring Lake Park. He sees an opening to drive it, but missed. They were trying to draw the charge, and it threw him off a little bit, and he went wider than he wanted to. Tamba, nice crossover, goes to the right hand and scores. He's a lefty, and he went to the right and drops it in, and it's 4-0 Pirates. And oh no, bad news early for Spring Lake Park as Gabe Myron getting up slow.
See Tomba taking it to the basket strong, and that's the one benefit without having Danger in the starting lineup now. Those 5 players on the floor all have the ability to dribble drive. They all have the ability to catch and shoot from the perimeter and even pass to each other when they're cutting to the basket.
It looked as though Myron landed on someone's foot and probably rolled the ankle a little bit. So coming in for him will be Jacob Say, number 5, and That you can see Myron is definitely in some pain. It was just one of those deals. He was the player guarding Tamba as he went to the hoop. And it looked like as he jumped to try and block it, he might have landed on either Emmanuel Tamba's foot or someone else's. Park Center coming with some pressure here, looking to trap. Phillips working up the sideline, gets to the front court. Say swinging it around in an open look for Remy, but it won't drop. Chapman batting it to Tamba. Now here's Prunella lobbing for Cook, and he'll get the tip in really as it bounced a little bit different than they were hoping here, but not a dunk, but it counts.
You know, Spring Lake Park, that was a good offensive attack because the ball swung from one side to the next. They got an open look, trying to go to the offensive rebound. If they miss, you know, Park Center's going to make you pay for it, so they got to maybe get back.
A miss inside initially, but Remy ends up getting the hoop there for the Panthers. Now Chapman stepping in, down low. Prunella missed it inside. He looked like he made a good move to get free, but couldn't finish. Down low it comes. Remy turnaround and not able to get it to drop. A point blank shot. Both teams a little bit cold in the early going, maybe some nerves.
You know, both teams look a little winded right now, and that's probably because of nervous energy. Usually that first breath you're trying to chase, but you can't catch it, as we watch DJ Prunella get that offensive rebound. But both teams probably just sucking the air a little bit, trying to get, you know, some of that nervous energy off of them. So it'll be a sloppy start, but you know, Spring Lake Park, good shooters from the perimeter. They'll settle in. Park Center like to get up and down, be physical. They'll settle in. Both teams looking to, you know, maybe play their best quality game right now.
Ben Juan with it out high, and he'll go over to Say. Overall, not an especially big or physical Spring Lake Park team, with the notable exception of Elkerton, as he is 6'7", and I would guess he's got to be 270 or so. Missed that jumper there. Now Parker with it in the front court for Park Center. 6-2 Pirates lead, although as we said, both teams cooled from the field so far. Chapman driving it into the lane, a little step back jumper, and it's good. That's a tough shot and a good shot for Tommy Chapman.
Nice little mid-range pull-up there.
And now they throw it ahead, and the layup is good by Elkerton, as they kind of forgot about him at the back. And nice look ahead, and he gets the layup.
Prunella maybe got away with a foul there. Elkerton tried to sell it. Referees weren't buying.
In and out this time for Chapman, and rebounded by Remy as he brings it back up court here for the Panthers. Phillips is open on the left wing, and he knocks down a three.
Phillips taking his time, lining it up, and you know, Park Center, they like to play fast, but if they're going to miss on the offensive end, they got to get back, because Spring Lake Park will look to try to attack in transition, maybe secondary, primary if they got it, and if they can locate someone around the perimeter, they will be looking for them. So we see a nice little kick out. Phillips able to knock it down from the perimeter, all net. And that's what Spring Lake Park is going to be looking to do. They don't want to play with too much pace, especially with this Park Center team, because their physicality will wear you down in the end. As we see Danger now checking into the game. We'll now see if Park Center maybe starts attacking down low. Maybe they get Elkerton in foul trouble, because, you know, his presence on the floor on the offensive end, obviously we just saw him take or attempt a three-point shot, but he's able to knock down that shot. And with him on the floor, Danger matched up with against him. This should be an interesting matchup.
Tomby hits the first free throw, one more coming, along with Dane Danger coming in to Tavius Frierson, number 30 for Park Center. And second one will spin out. Phillips the rebound here for the Panthers, so it stays at 9-7 Park Center. Say, ooh, just got it over to Phillips, and then to Say. Bring it back out top here. Park Center really looking to get up and pressure defensively. Drop back out. Elkerton will shoot it up there, no good, and rebound grab there by David Jadamambola, but he traveled as he checked in at the last moment too. When he turned to go with that rebound, there was somebody in the way that he didn't see initially, so he kind of stutter stepped it there.
Nerves. He just checked into the game, and you know, he's anxious to get started. Probably saw some of his teammates up the floor and was ready to make a play, but Spring Lake Park getting in the way and stopping that, forcing a turnover.
Phillips goes behind the back, but good defense by Tamba. Remy giving it back to Phillips. Offensive foul. Definitely it was sold by Frierson, but still he did lower the shoulder a little bit, so the foul call going against Phillips here.
See, Frierson, sometimes if you want the referee to buy it, you got to sell it. So he was there, you know, through the little LeBron antics maybe in there, and you know, you got to make referees make that call, because all those kind of points inside, those easy baskets, they add up in the end.
Into danger. They threw a quick double at him and then back off. Oops, that's a tough catch as Tamba. Not sure it was intended for him as he was cutting close to danger. Say will shoot it from the left wing. It's an air ball, and here's Chapman looking to push the tempo. Chapman, nice little stutter step off the glass, no good. Tip try, no good, and then Elkerton grabs it for the Panthers. They look to run it a little bit on their own, and going to be a foul. They kind of bailed Remy out a little bit there, because he was like 1 against 3 and attacked, and he drew the foul.
You know, but Blake is trying to get in the scoring column. I mean, you know, he's already made 1 basket, but you know, now he's looking to, you know, try to manufacture points any kind of way, because sometimes it's going to be too difficult to just score in half-court offense. And so if you have an opportunity, get out in transition, maybe see an angle, you feel confident enough that you can force the referees to maybe blow the whistle. You know, and it's still early in the game. They're only down 2 points, so it's honestly worth the try.
Remy missed the first free throw. Second one on the way is good, so 3 points in the game for him. And the lead is 1 for Park Center at 9-8. I certainly think the score being where it is definitely favors Spring Lake Park at the low score to start. Danger, the miss from the baseline, knocked away from Remy. Parker goes up, no good, but he was fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line.
That was an interesting defensive change there by Spring Lake Park. Looked like they dropped back into a 1-3-1. Probably trying to protect Johnson inside. Johnson, you know, he's 6'7", so he's going to probably try to use his length against Danger as he contested that shot, and Danger missing. But in the 1-3-1, the most difficult thing to do, Jay, is rebound. And so there you have Danger taking a shot, but he misses, and now all of a sudden Park Center gets a second chance to maybe either score or now at the line.
There's a look at Coach Ware, now 3rd season with the Pirates. Parker looking to go 2 for 2 here. Second one spinning out though, no good. So 10-8, it stays here for Park Center. Say bouncing one through over to Juan. Remy back out.
Looks like maybe a matchup 2-3, no? Man.
Cook jabbed it away. Remy recovers it.
If you're St. Louis Park, if you want to maybe get in that lane, you might want to attack Danger in a pick and roll, a high pick and roll. Get him out of that paint, because if he remains in that paint right there, he's going to rebound like heck, and then he also might be able to block some shots as well.
Down low, Tamba, the Danger layup is good as he powered it up through Mason Johnson there. And it's 12-8 Park Center, and now they can set up pressure too. That's the thing, it kind of feeds on each other, because they can press a lot easier when the other team's having to pull it out of the basket when you can score.
Oh yeah, most definitely. When you can put it through the nets, it definitely allows you to set your defense, and you're more confident on defense.
Say cut off at the free throw line. Remy's going to launch a long one with Cook in his face, and Danger grabs the board here, and the Pirates will push it back. Frierson looking to attack. Had it knocked away. It will stay with Park Center, but no foul. It'll just be a Pirate baseline inbound here.
I don't know if I like that Blake Remy shot there. I mean, he does a good job getting back and locating the ball and contesting the shot, but need to be a little patient. It's 12-8. Sometimes too many quick shots. Other team comes down and scores. You find yourself in a hole. So, St. Louis Park been doing a really good job controlling tempo. If anybody's in favor of tempo right now, it's Spring Lake Park.
A little 2-3 look for the Panthers this time. Cook. Shot fake, drives to the baseline. Pretty solid D there by Walker Stewart, who came in, helped force that turnover. Say going all the way, and he scores plus a foul. I was just thinking he was looking real tentative, but maybe he was trying to draw that foul. Just waited for the shot blocker and kind of went up into his body.
He understood as he was approaching the basket that I'm probably not as athletic as my opponent. So what I'm going to do is slow down, and then I'm going to create an angle in which I can get my body in between the basket, and then I can hold him off and finish strong up high. And so that's just an excellent fundamental play. And Sage, vertical leap, maybe 12, 14 inches. But now he's at the free throw line looking to, add another point to his team and cut into this lead.
Panthers are to within 2 as you get a look at how things have shaped up. It's interesting. The favorites won in the quarterfinal round with the exception of Spring Lake Park over Roseville, which is a 5-4. But that was a 2-point game. Now, a couple of these others, Champlain Park, 2 seed against 7. They won by 3.
Right.
3 seed Osseo. They struggled for quite a while against Irondale, won by 14. And even Park Center, okay, it looks like a 21-point win. They trailed for a good chunk of the first half against the number 8 seed Mountain View. So I think some of the top seeds kind of learned that what you did in the regular season doesn't matter anymore. It's all about that night, and are you ready to play, and are you just as jacked up as your opponent to go at it?
In today's basketball, a team that is 11-14 like Spring Lake Park is equally competitive on any given night, whoever they're playing. And that's a good thing that's happening around Minnesota basketball right now. Is doesn't matter what your record is, on any given night you can be competitive and give your team a chance to win.
12-11. There's a bounce pass inside and knocked away. Panthers will come up with it. Juan shooting it up, no good. Parker will bring it back up court to Cook. Let's go to Allie now for an injury update.
Guys, we saw Gabe Myron go off with the trainers. They were looking at that left ankle, and his face, we made it look like he wasn't coming back in, but he did come back out onto the bench, and so we'll keep an eye on him and see what happens there throughout the rest of this game.
Thanks, Allie, and let's hope we get the chance to play again. I think everybody who's played any basketball knows that feeling of turning an ankle, and it can be tough. Nice rebound inside, but then lost as Frierson gathered himself to go up.
Park Center not really locating Jarius Cook. I mean, he's their leading scorer. He's maybe got one shot attempt, and we're now approaching, 8 minutes left in the first half as we see St. Louis Park attacking that rim. They got to find a way to get him and locate him around the perimeter, because if they can get him going, what his skill set is, he's a great catch and shoot player. So if they can get him maybe some open looks, he can maybe bust open this zone and maybe give his team an advantage.
There's Danger with 2 inside after Spring Lake Park had gone ahead on the Walker Stewart bucket on the assist from Say. Now Stewart behind the back just kind of throws it up for grabs there, and we're going to get a foul call against Mason Johnson. That one almost should be credited to his teammate, though, because he threw that pass just kind of up for grabs, and Danger had better position to get to it. And there's Gabe Myron. He's going to come back in. He's got the left hand tape, but it's the ankle that they're worried about now. We'll see if he can get out and move around. I think a lot of times with something like this, you're going to be able to tell right away. I mean, either he can do it or he can't.
Oh, yes. And in a tight game right now, it's better to test it right now to see just what you have and what you're working with, because as you get late in the game and you're looking for experience, you definitely want him on the floor.
Yeah, and you don't want to wait until, second half or whatever to try it now. It'll stiffen up, and Be a tough ask for him. We got a foul away from the ball. That's going to be Mason Johnson again. He's trying to deny Danger the ball, but just got a little over aggressive.
Yeah, I like that foul though. It's a second foul, but it's an aggressive foul. It's a message sending foul. It is, I'm going to, battle you in the paint, and I'm not going to make it easy for you. So kudos to Mason for that defensive foul though.
Elkerton comes back in to replace him. Cook's going to let it fly off the inbound. No good. Rebound batted, and Prunella will come away with it here for Park Center. Pirates lead by 1. Chapman to Danger, and no, we're going to have a foul on the pass off, an offensive foul, as the big guy stood there and stood in and took the charge.
The lost art of taking charges, and we have the tallest player on the floor getting set, setting camp up in the paint, and now taking what was going to be an easy basket by Park Center, taking that away and giving his team a possession and 2 points now.
And Myron able to score that there. A little pass fake and then just went up quick with the shot. 15-14, Spring Lake Park is up by 1.
I'll tell you what's interesting about Spring Lake Park. Park Center has been turning over the ball, and Spring Lake Park has been scoring off of those opportunities. So when you look at the end of the game and you analyze things, the one thing you don't want are transition baskets like that.
Remy getting the layup to go after the Cook miss, and Panthers lead it by 3. Slapped away from Chapman. He gets it right back. Park Center starting to look a little frustrated now. Things have not come all that easy offensively in this first half.
St. Louis Park playing a packing defense, really guarding that three-point line so they can stop penetrations like that, as we see Chapman lay it in, but they got to do it better on maybe that help.
Here's Remy looking to answer, and he'll knock it down for Spring Lake Park.
There's Remy attacking, feeling it a little bit, and it's a good time to start feeling it as he's closing into this, as the first half is closing out. This is now the time to maybe step up and create some momentum.
Prunella looking to attack here, and he was fouled. A foul call on Stewart, and Stewart had played pretty good defense and forced him into a tough shot. So that's one that the Panthers don't like to see, because they had looked like they had, kind of forced a tough shot. But Prunella will go to the line.
The Park Center just continues to attack the low post. Whether St. Louis Park is in man or zone, they will eventually, Spring Lake Park, as they eventually continue to attack the low post, they're eventually going to wear down Spring Lake Park. So they got to be patient and just allow the process to happen.
See Phillips coming back in. Park Center difficulties at the line tonight, kind of along with their shooting from the field. They have not looked good at this part of it either. 2 for 5 so far, and then Prunella knocks down the second free throw. So a 2-point lead here for Spring Lake Park. Myron working his way in, and Dane just swats it. Just kind of served it up for him. Chapman lost the handle, and they're going to say last touch by Spring Lake Park, and it will be Park Center basketball.
That last possession, Myron attacking that basket, really testing that ankle there. So he might not give Dane Danger the credit he deserves for that block shot.
Danger turns, spins, no good. Cook the rebound, saving it over to Danger, and no good inside. Prunella rebounds, attacks, no good. Cook gets it back, and then we get a foul. Boy, there was a lot of contact on all those. It's no night for the timid inside there.
It's not easy. Once again, by any means necessary. If you have to offensive rebound and try to finish in deep in the paint and really attack that basket there, Spring Lake Park, Park Center, they're willing to do that. So Spring Lake Park really has to make a concerted effort to try to box out. Even when there's maybe a quick shot, they gotta put some bodies on people, because with Danger and Prunella in there, they will wear you down.
No good, but Cook goes and gets it himself, and everybody caught looking, and Cook knew, it was like he knew where that miss was going to go, since he's the guy who shot it.
Just a brain fart there.
Say stepping up, no good, and Phillips getting the rebound as he was inside of Danger there. Almost traveled. Say across to Myron here, and Panthers now down by a point, but still looking to to get a good quality shot here. Remy will stop and fire the three. No good. Knocked out of bounds last touch by Elkerton. It will be Park Center's basketball.
And he couldn't finish all the way through the shot there. Shot it, couldn't get that follow through there. It was good form and just looked like it was all lined up, ready to go down, but just couldn't finish all the way through that shot. Sure, he wants that back.
Cook looking to Prunella on the pick and roll. Danger at the high post. Tamba cutting into the middle, goes up with it, no good, and Remy grabs the rebound.
Remy, sophomore, right? Really playing poised. I mean, this is a very important game for him and his team and his high school, and doing some really good things on the floor that you don't expect from young players.
Whipped inside, here comes Phillips, and Tamba just reaches out and jabs that one away from him. So Myron will inbound on the baseline here for Spring Lake Park. They've had the lead for a chunk of this first half, and right now trail by 1 against the top seed Park Center. Phillips attacking, wow, and Elkerton will shoot it up from the baseline, no good. Prunella rebounds.
Elkerton not shy.
Pitch it down low. Danger attacks with the left hand and scores it.
Yeah. Good time out there. You can see PC really trying to attack that low post. Dane Danger coming off the bench, watching his team in their early going, and then coming onto the floor and posting up real deep there against Elkerton there, just sealing him off. And what you see from Danger is the ability not only to finish with the right hand, but the left hand on the left side, using that right arm to hold him off. And Elkerton, he's got to save his fouls. He can't get any kind of stupid fouls right here before this first half closes. But at the same time, he can't let Danger get that deep. So great time out there.
Park Center leading by 3. Again, the winner gets Osseo in the section final. Osseo winning at the buzzer in the second overtime against Champlin Park on a putback basket.
Those kind of baskets, they just live with you for the rest of your life. Imagine you're a senior and that's your last game and you lost because you didn't get a rebound. Just feel real bad for Champlin Park, but Osseo deserving the credit for staying in the play.
Quick double thrown at the Panthers, but handled the first part of it pretty well, and then across to Say. Now he's in some trouble, and they're going to take another timeout. That is exactly what Spring Lake Park didn't want, is you pick the ball up into that trap right there, but at least they didn't turn it over, which is what they're hoping for. You see the bench scoring right now, and all 3 of the buckets for Park Center coming from Danger. Say and Stewart have come off the bench to do a couple good things for Spring Lake Park. So interesting battle so far here. I mean, I think Park Center, they would like to be at about 40 to 45 points by halftime in a normal game, and right now it certainly doesn't look like they're going to get there.
No, not at all right now. For Spring Lake Park, this is exactly where you wanted to be. And there's 3 minutes left, and it could get ugly, so they gotta, really pay attention here. But Spring Lake Park really coming out well. I thought they might be intimidated by maybe Park Center's size and athleticism and physicality, but they've hung in there.
And that's where I think having played them a couple times really helps. You see a team right up close, and you know how good they are. I mean, they respect them, I'm sure, but at the same time, you know what they look like playing right against them the same court. Remy the miss. Outlet to Chapman. He'll drop it off. Layup try no good, but free throws upcoming for DJ Prunella.
Great offense, though. Like that offensive set. Really trying to locate Blake Remy coming off that double screen on the baseline, and he got an open look, so everything was done properly, but the only thing, they didn't get back on defense, and so they're going to have to address that at halftime, that when he shoots, we can't assume it's going to go in. We have to assume it's going to be off. So let's get back on defense, because now, Park Center, this is how they've been staying in the game in the later part of the first half, is really just getting out in transition and attacking the low post and free throws.
Last foul was against Remy, too, and that's his second. Prunella knocks them both down. 5-point lead for Park Center, and they come with that trap. Remy weaving his way across, and now to Phillips.
PC is in a man-to-man. Spring Lake Park, not really taking advantage of Danger in the paint. Danger's really not having to defend, let's say, Elkerton. They should try to get him maybe into some pick and roll so he's forced to come out on the perimeter and dive back to the basket. Otherwise, you know, he's not going to use any energy on the defensive end, and he's going to save it for the offensive end.
Chapman picks up that foul there as he tried to cut off the dribbler on the baseline. Remy driving it, a little bit of room, rises up and scores. They kind of cleared out, so there was only a couple of guys on that side of the floor, and that's a tough defend. Prunella did a pretty decent job, but Remy a little bit better offensively there, and he is able to score it. So Spring Lake Park back to within 3.
You know, the last time Remy matched up against PC, he put a 30 bomb on him, and he gave him 30 points. So he's feeling like, you know, anybody in front of him, they can't defend him, and he's continued that on right now as he's got 9 points.
You see Stewart coming back in, and Juan as well for Spring Lake Park, as Prunella was unable to get that last one to drop. So Panthers really right where they want to be here, down by 3 and about 2 minutes to go in this first half. I mean, sure, you'd like to be leading, but at the same time as, you know, facing a top seed, to be right where they're at is pretty good. And Remy gets the hoop and a foul. He'll go to the free throw line with a chance to tie things up.
You know, as I'm watching this, as we see Remy attack the dribble drive, attacking Danger with 2 fouls. So he's not worried about maybe picking up that 3rd foul, but really thinking about the fact that Danger will contest the shot, so he needs to go strong. But as I'm looking at Remy's game, it's kind of tailor-made for Park Center's defense. They play pressure defense. They look to take chances and get in the passing lane. And he has the ability to put the ball on the floor and attack the basket. And he's, you know, a good catch and shoot shooter. So that's probably votes to the reason why he has success against PC.
Cook the miss, and then Chapman an excuse me foul there as he lands on the back. And that's going to be the 3rd on Chapman, I believe, as he picked up 2 in a row. So they're not yet in the bonus, but unfortunately for Tommy Chapman, you see he tried to pull back as he reached for the ball. He realized he wasn't going to get it, and then at that point, it's just not much he could do but land on him. Myron bringing it up court here against the pressure of Frierson. And we get a foul away from the ball, a hold, I think, on Parker.
Yeah, against Remy. And that's what they did not want to do, because Remy right now feeling some rhythm. So we see Remy looking to curl off the screen, grabs his arm there, But that's what you don't want, because Remy right now, he's feeling it a little bit. He's got 12 points, so you don't want to send him to the free throw line and give him anything easy.
So Spring Lake Park surging back into the lead here after they'd fallen down by 5, as that free throw puts them ahead by 1.
Oh, Blake Remy right now, Jay, kind of reminds me a little bit of J.P. McCura, like a little young version. You know, he can do it all. Shoot, pass, dribble, finish, play D.
Danger not able to get it to drop. A battle for the loose ball. And they held ball eventually there. I think a good job by the officials to not. Sometimes they just immediately blow it, whether it's really a tie-up or not. You see the battle for it as Danger goes to the floor. Then Elkerton gets his hands on it.
Yeah, you didn't see anyone trying to get in that scrum between Elkerton and Danger. I mean, those some big boys laying down on there on that floor, and they were just letting them battle it.
I think it was a smart thing by Elkerton that he thought when he first grabbed it, he was going to try and throw it to his teammate. But if it was picked off, it would have been an easy layup. So you're probably better off just taking the jump ball and going from there. And it turns out it's their possession also anyway. Stewart is fouled as Parker was up on him tight, and that'll be his 3rd.
That's a tough call there. As Parker just looking to take away the baseline, and looked like he played good defense there, but And he certainly didn't want to foul him, you know, because they're not expecting or looking for him to be a scoring threat. So, you know, once again, Park Center, maybe some unnecessary fouls the last couple possessions, allowing Spring Lake Park an opportunity to score from the free throw line.
Stewart with the free throw, and I think Coach Ware right now, talking to the official, I'm thinking he's thinking that it's going to be a long night for us if that level of contact is going to be a foul, because that's kind of our bread and butter, to get up on guys.
Right. They put, you know, they like to guard you chest to chest, nose to nose, and they like to wear you down physically. So, you know, I'm sure he's not going to change it, you know, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Stewart's second free throw also good, and Spring Lake Park 3-point lead on the top seed Park Center here. We go under a minute to play in this first half. Danger has great position down low, and they foul him before the shot attempt as Elkerton got caught behind him there.
Yeah, Elkerton, he had to sell out there. I mean, he was dead behind Danger. Danger had him probably up underneath the rim. Probably could have just caught it and dunked it. So that's a smart foul, even though that gave him, well, it's just his first foul, so, you know, not a big deal. Just his first foul, so not a big deal.
Danger's free throw is good.
I love this time of year watching players make heady plays, you know, where you can see strategy and the players are actually implementing the strategy on the floor. And I'm sure that was in the scouting report, that if Danger gets deep in the paint and you have a foul to waste, you should use it.
Back out to Tamba. So the Pirates getting another crack after the missed free throw. Danger looking to attack. Elkerton wanting to draw a charge. Didn't get it. Danger will score out the window. They weren't buying that anybody could knock Elkerton over like a domino like that.
I mean, he fell like, you know, a big, you know, 400-year willow tree. It just fell nice and slow, and then eventually you just hear this pounding. But, you know, referees are going to make the big fellas play deep.
27 all, Spring Lake Park, a chance to take the last shot. Tamba up guarding, and then there's a steal. Frierson going to the hoop. He was fouled, though, by Myron.
That was a lot of ball there, Jay. If you watch the way that ball shot out of his hand, that ball, you know, hit the floor rather quick and bounced it off the floor. But great hustle play by Myron there. Oh, on the elbow. Looks like he caught him on the elbow there, yeah.
And Park Center, it looked like, you know, they were asking for it, but that's just a foul. Frierson will shoot. And it bounces and drops. So Park Center retaking the lead here in the final seconds. One more free throw coming. And that one's no good. Prunella briefly had his hands on it, but the Panthers get it. Myron looking up court. Stewart throws it way across to Say. Shot fake and then shoots and will not get it to go. So we have come to halftime in this one, and the underdog Spring Lake Park hanging in like they wanted to do, and they are very much in this one, to say the least, at 28-27, as Park Center just retaking the lead in the last seconds on that free throw opportunity. So they will take a 1-point lead into a rather low scoring first half in this one. Let's go down to Allie now with Coach Ware.
Coach, you guys are used to doubling that first half score. This is a little unusual for you.
Yeah, we look like we're playing nervous right now. We're a little tight, so we just got to go in the locker room, relax a little bit, get back to playing Pirate basketball.
Low scoring game all over, but defensively, do you like what you're seeing?
No, not really. I mean, we're much better than this. We're kind of doing this to ourselves right now. We got to go figure this out and hopefully play better in the second half.
We'll let you go do that, Coach. Thanks for your time, guys.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks, Coach Ware, being very honest there with that answer. And I know they would say it was not the kind of half they want to play. They do take a 1-point lead into halftime, though. We'll come back with some first half highlights and more. It's the Section 5 4A semifinals, Park Center and Spring Lake Park here on CCX.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? or when people know your name. Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Welcome back here to Maple Grove High School, the site of the semifinals in Section 5-4A. It is Park Center, the #1 seed, leading 5th seed Spring Lake Park, but just by a single point at halftime here, 28-27, as we take a look at some first half highlights from tonight's contest. A pretty interesting first half. Tamba, nice crossover, and he finishes. This was actually the play when Gabe Myron came up with an ankle injury there for Spring Lake Park. He eventually did come back in. And then Prunella throwing it up for Cook, able to direct that one home in the fast break there for Park Center, but they did not get a lot of those in the first half. Chapman, a nice step back jumper for one of his 2 buckets, but the Panthers push it ahead. Elkerton, the big guy, was all alone, got the layup there for Spring Lake Park. And then Phillips able to knock down a 3 there as they found him wide open out on the wing. And a steal here for Say, and he waits. He knows the defender's coming. Waits, takes the contact, scores, plus the foul there. A big play for the sophomore off the bench there for Spring Lake Park. Remy getting a nice shot to go as he's kind of lived up to advanced billing here. 13 points in this first half after he had 35 against Roseville the other night. Danger banging with Elkerton. Elkerton did draw a charge earlier, but not that time, and Danger gets the bucket. As you see, Remy with 13, easily the leading scorer for the Panthers. Danger off the bench with 9 points for Park Center. We will come back with our second half of basketball. We'll see who goes to the final to take on Osseo Friday night at Rogers High School. It's Park Center 28 and Spring Lake Park 27 here on CCX Sports.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
And welcome back to Maple Grove. Alley's joined now by Coach Guzzi from the Panthers.
Coach, this first half was nothing like the first half of 4 games ago. What are you seeing in this one?
Well, we're trying to keep it more to a half-court game. It was 45-40 at halftime at Park Center. We didn't want that to happen again. We've been able to do a nice job keeping them off of the offensive glass. They have gotten a few on us and a few putbacks, but we got to do a better job of that in the second half if we want to take this.
A bit of a scare when we saw Gabe come out of the game for a little bit. Breathe a sigh of relief. He comes back in. What do you want to see out of this team to pull away and get the W at the end?
Well, Jacob Say did a heck of a job off the bench coming in at the point guard spot. Our bench did a very nice job. We had a couple of guys with 2 fouls. We just got to keep our poise, handle the basketball against their pressure, make them play again a little slower, and we'll be in business.
Well, you're keeping the poise. Just show it for the boys. Thanks so much, guys. Coach.
Thanks very much, Allie, and thanks, Coach. He's kind of been through the wars over the years, and obviously I think he's really been on both sides of it at times too, where sometimes his team was the team with more talent, and the other team was trying to slow them down, and now he knows, what you got to do to stay in this one. And I think his kids, you really couldn't ask for a much better first half if you're the underdog like they were. They did a lot of things that they wanted to do, and even though they're down by 1, I think they are, they did more of what they wanted to do than Park Center did.
They're definitely coming into the second half with a lot of confidence because, I'm sure they anticipated maybe being down double digits because of the last 2 results. But, Jay, the old saying is very difficult to beat a team 3 times. 2 times, yeah, but 3 times they start to get maybe an idea, a sense of what you're trying to do. And Spring Lake Park has come out here this evening and really held the fort down,
See, only one made three-pointer combined between the two teams. Spring Lake Park's 1 for 9, Park Center 0 for 6. That's almost unheard of in today's basketball. But you see the overall shooting percentage close, and Spring Lake Park a little bit better from the free throw line in that first half. So, you know, Park Center, there's certainly been times throughout the year where teams have held them close for a while, and then by the end of the night, you look up and it's a 20 or 25-point game. They're still, you know, hoping that that can be the case, but they've got to go out and take it, not expect Spring Lake Park to hand it to them.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I'm sure that was the message coming into halftime. Like, as Coach Ware was talking about the idea that his guys were playing passive, playing a little nervous, and so I'm sure he told them and probably gave them an earful and try to, you know, break through those nerves and say, go play, you know, go dictate what you want the result to be. And so it'll be interesting to see how they come out this second half.
And it's a fine line. You're you know, coaching obviously over at Providence Academy, and you know, you get after guys, but you also want to build their confidence at the same time. So there's a little bit of both of that, I think, probably went on for PC.
Well, the character of their team is, you know, all of these individual boys on Park Center, they have thick skin, so they're able to take that tough coaching when it's at the opportune time.
Tamba pitches it into Danger, over to Prunella. Oh, a little overpassing there. It looked like they had a layup. Danger now with it out high. Spring Lake Park surrounding Prunella, lost it, but it goes right over to Frierson.
They got it to that short corner, got it in low to Danger, but just unable to finish.
This looks like it might be a box and one. They're chasing Cook around, but then the other four guys are kind of playing in the zone, it appears.
You're absolutely right. And I'm sure they thought about the idea that Cook only had 2 points. And so Park Center was going to look to get him started in this second half.
Danger fading away and gets it to drop there for the Pirates. Now, I know a lot of coaches say you got to go at the hoop there, but I still like that move. You create a little space to get that shot away nice and easy.
You know, young fella. He's just a sophomore. You don't even see many seniors do it, but he has such great touch, and he's able to shoot the ball from high. He finishes high, so it just makes it impossible to block the shot, and then he fades away on you.
There's a block, and behind the back. Look out. Here comes Danger all the way for the layup. Wow. Yeah. Put that on his highlight tape. One end of block, and he goes all the way for the layup. Now Remy attacking, and he scores it.
And there's Remy getting back to what he was doing in the first half and is able to attack that basket.
Back out to Purnell. Purnell, the lefty, drives, spins, and it rolls off. Elkerton, nice hands to snag that rebound.
Myron's got to look to get himself going because they miss his 15 points per game. So I don't know if they'll be patient enough. Try to maybe let him come off one of these flex cuts. Here we got a baseline screen maybe happening, but didn't look to use it.
And he's moving, but probably not quite as well as usual, the way it looks there after turning that ankle.
In that first half, he hasn't gotten going. So he doesn't know, should I try? But here he goes. There you go.
Wow, there's our answer.
There's our answer right there. Heard me talking, and he understands he has to get going. I mean, there's what, 18 minutes left in your potential season, so he's got to get it started.
Back to a 1-point game now after that hoop by Myron. 32-31 Pirates. Yeah, Juan is defending Cook, so it really does look like now they've settled back into a man-to-man again. Another thing Spring Lake Park's doing, trying to keep them guessing a little bit, and create a little bit of doubt and get that offense to take a while to get into it.
They're using Remy as the spy guy. He doesn't have the shooter.
To Purnell, and it's good off the glass. Elkerton trying to draw another charge, and they were not going to call that one. So a Park Center up by 3.
There you go. You got Danger now out the paint, a basket cut. That's what
There's
happens.
Phillips, the layup and a foul.
Absolutely. It's a difference when Danger's not in that paint. Now all of a sudden that lane opens up, and you know, Spring Lake Park, they do a really good job coming off screens, but they also move well without the ball. And so that's what you want to do. Elkerton, he has the ability, you know, he's an interesting guy. I mean, he plays that 5 position, he shoots the 3, but he can also hit you cutting to the basket if you make a good cut.
Free throw no good for Phillips, so unable to complete the three-point play, and Park Center still in front by 1. That was the first foul on Cook, by the way. Cook trying to go into danger. Phillips gets around him and gets the steal. Spring Lake Park looking for the lead. Phillips to the hole, and he scores.
This change of defense by Spring Lake Park is really getting Park Center off balance. Oh, another charge there.
This one will be a charge as Elkerton's tried to take several, and he gets to call this one.
I'm going to bring Elkerton over there to Providence Academy because I'm always preaching to my guys about taking charges and how it's just so underestimated. And what you find is by just taking a charge, you save maybe the possibility of an easy layup. And now you've given the other team's opponent, you've given them a foul, and now you have possession, which is most important. So, you know, people who are watching the game, young players who are watching the game, need to add that because it's so vital when you're talking about playing in postseason competition.
Phillips inbounding to Myron here with the Panthers in the lead by a point. Phillips giving it over now. Remy back out.
You see Spring Lake Park patient. They know who they're looking for, what their idea is. So they're waiting on Remy coming off screens. They're patient enough. They can just not turn it over. Yep.
That'll be an offensive foul on Remy, and that will be his third. They nearly turned it over on the sideline, and then it looked like Remy had an open lane to the hoop.
Once again, there is almost. They had got danger out of the paint, almost a turnover, and Remy catches it in the paint. PC able to get in that paint, take that charge.
Tomba to Chapman. Danger posting up. Phillips was on him briefly there. Now Tomba stepping between defenders, and he floats it in. So Tomba's second bucket of the game. He has 5 points, and Park Center back in front by 1. Myron getting that handoff over to Remy. Chapman getting up on Myron. He drives baseline. Another offensive foul.
There you go.
That's about 3 in a row between the two teams.
Anything you do, I can do better. And that's what you want to do. If you see your opponent doing it, why not you?
See Remy, a good rip through to get to the baseline. And the charge taken. Tomba wanting to hand off to Cook, but Juan jumped out and all over him. Now Danger looking to attack. A little step back off the glass. That was pretty.
That move right now reminds me of someone I know. Someone.
And there's a foul on the reach-in by Frierson.
Spring Lake Park can't get frustrated right now. Right now, only down 3, and it may feel as though Park Center's maybe the momentum is swinging in their way. They're in it. They just have to stay the course, try to keep it close in these last 5 minutes. Maybe start attacking danger and pick and roll instead of this dribble handoff stuff. They might find themselves with an opportunity to take it to the basket.
Myron with it here for Spring Lake Park, looking for the lob to Remy, and he finishes. Nice hoop. The pass was a little bit off target, but he did a great job concentrating on that one. Inside to Danger, looking to go to work. Spins to the baseline. Oh, my.
That's tough. That's tough. Because he can finish high, and he's fading. It's kind of how like Dirk Nowitzki does with his size and his length. And Danger's 6'9", but he's got arms, you know, that touch his ankles. Very difficult to defend that.
And it's going to be another offensive foul. Myron called for the charge for the second time in about a minute. Here's a look at that lob. Nice catch by Remy and finish there. And then this is a thing of beauty at the other end.
That's a pro move right there, Jay. That's a nice body. Then he feels the contact, uses the contact to push off and fade away. Nothing but net.
Look at Juan working hard to try and deny the ball to Cook. Danger coming out to the high post to get it here. He'll turn and shoot that 16-footer hard off the glass, no good. Phillips pushing it ahead. Elkerton had a block from behind by Cook. And Say passed up a 3 chance. He'll go to Phillips. Boy, the Panthers thought they had a layup there, but Elkerton was denied. Now he rolls in and he was fouled.
Smart. I mean, he used all of his meat and potatoes. I mean, the legs, the thighs. I mean, use that arm to kind of hook him and seal him so he could spin around and finish at the lane, you know, at the rim there. He stuck with it.
And the next one, he able to draw the foul on Cook.
I almost think like he didn't feel like I'm going to be able to score, but I'm going to, you know, maybe provocate a foul. I'm going to make the referee call a foul there, and, you know, just a heads-up play by the senior.
Gets the first one to drop, has a chance to bring his team within a point, and he will do so. Elkerton gets both of them to go, and he will check out. Mason Johnson will come in. Johnson's a change of pace. You know, nearly the same height, but obviously much smaller physically, and he came in and committed a couple quick fouls, but as you said, you know, showing that he was there, and that's what you needed.
Yeah, that presence is big, and you know, he's got a big assignment now to kind of cool off Danger. And if he fights him for position, push him off the block. Don't let him get it in areas where he's comfortable.
Foul here on Phillips as he tried to knock it away from Frierson. That'll be number 3 on Phillips.
You see, those kind of fouls you want to save to the end. Right now, 11 minutes on the clock as the game is winding down. You want to save those kind of tic-tac fouls at the end because you don't want them to get to the bonus too fast. It's going to already be hard enough for them to score. You don't want to make it easy.
Cook floating across the lane, went to Tomba, had it knocked away, and back out to Cook. Now Danger. Danger surveys the defense a little bit. Now looking to attack. Spin move, this time left it short.
You know, Jay, Cook's got to take a couple bad shots. You know, even if he misses, just to get himself going, he's got to get some touch, some feel.
Look out below. And the layup or partial dunk there by Frierson goes in after the block by Cook at the defensive end. Park Center trying to get themselves going a little bit. They're up by 3. And that pass up over everyone. A bad one there. Spring Lake Park turning it over. Another look here as you get ahead. Frierson kind of scraped that one in. I don't think he wants that one on his highlight tape, but it's a basket. It still counts.
He won't brag about that.
He can get up. I know that. But that one didn't quite do it all the way he wanted to, but Park Center still liking the chance to get out and run off the block shot. Here's Cook flashing free. And in and out. Nice rebound, though, by Parker.
It was a good shot. It was in the flow of the offense. They might want to maybe go to another set one more time, because if he knocks down one, then that might give the team, you know, a great deal of confidence.
Chapman, a crossover, no good, and the Panthers end up with the rebound. Jacob Say, his coach, had words of praise for him coming off the bench in that first half, providing some nice play at the point guard spot. Remy kicking it over. Walker Stewart, that one's way short, but it hits a Park Center foot on the way out. And you see a little smile. Hey, we've all been there. It happens occasionally.
No, he didn't shoot that one to make it. It was almost like he shot it and he said, I'm open, so I got to shoot it.
Say will inbound here for the Panthers. Doing a nice job hanging in. They're down by 3 against the top-seeded Pirates. Remy goes to the baseline and scores. He could have taken the shot right away, but he realized I could just turn the corner and keep going, get a little closer.
I like that kid. Clean game. Clean game. Really not out of control. You know, you can see his purpose in every move that he makes and what he's trying to do, especially from up here.
There's Tomba, just keeps that dribble alive and then sees a chance to explode to the hoop, and he did it. 3-point lead for Park Center. Knocked away by Tomba. Tomba will take it all the way, and the layup is good.
Yep.
And a timeout for Spring Lake Park as Coach Guzzi can feel it starting to swing to Park Center just a little bit here. 5-point lead. Well, he's been battling some injuries the second half of the year, but Dane Danger coming off the bench tonight and showing the full arsenal. Whether it be with the shot block or the variety of moves. Wow, he's had some impressive plays here tonight.
What you say, Aaron, is just the total package. The ability to rebound it, go coast to coast and score in transition at 6'9". The ability to post up on the low post, score banging you all the way to the basket, scoring deep in the paint. And he's also got the ability to bang you and then bounce off you and shoot the fadeaway, finishing traffic, finishing high. Just makes him a very, unguardable player. I don't know what to tell you.
Great footwork, too, for such a younger guy. There's a lot of guys that, second year of college still haven't mastered the footwork to the degree that he has.
Yes, sir. I played basketball with his father, Dana Jackson, in college. And I swear, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we saw every day in practice. Dana wasn't a, let's say, superstar for us, but we always thought that Dana was ahead of his time. He was like a stretch forward before they were invented. And he was the kind of player who would rebound it at 6'9", get out on the fast break, no looks, triple threat you from three-point line. Just had, many, many facets to his game, just like his son.
So Spring Lake Park now down by 5, and the pass tipped, and Tamba is going to get another hoop here for the Pirates, as he's got 4 baskets in the second half, and the lead is 7, biggest that it's been, I think, all night, and certainly in a long time.
So if we have to have a player of the game, I mean, it might be Tomba, because, he's on a 6-0, run himself there, and it's, creating a big gap here, the biggest gap of the game, by scoring inside.
Here's Tamba again, and off the glass and good as he answers the bucket from Gabe Myritt.
He's a lefty, and lefties are really difficult to get a hang on. So they're going to have to maybe get on that left hand and force him right.
Back to a 7-point lead here after the teams trade baskets here. We approach 8 minutes to go, and Prunella with the steal for Park Center. Prunella all the way, and he'll throw it down.
He's got to burn another one, Jay. Unfortunately now, PC's starting to smell the blood in the water. They're getting in those passing lanes. They're not even in the passing lane. They're on the back side of you getting in the passing lane. So, we were worried about would they be, maybe not as aggressive in the second half defensively. They have come out, in these last 4 or 5 minutes, got in those passing lanes, created some turnovers, and have shot high percentage shots because they're shooting layups and dunks.
Well, Emmanuel Tamba, we showed you a little bit earlier how Danger had really heated up. There's Tamba. He comes up first of all with the steal and just glides in for 2. And then knocks it loose. Even easier one that time as he was all alone, and then attacking from the left wing and just kisses it high off the glass. He's really learned too how to, when to get rid of that ball. When there's a shot blocker coming, you get that floater off the window and I release it at the right time. So Tamba has really been a difference maker in helping to build this lead from 3 points up to 9 here.
Well, they're coached well, and each player understands their role, and it's very specific. No one is allowed to deviate outside that role, and so they stay true to that, and that's why they've had the success that they've had this season.
See, 13 points, 10 of those have come here in this second half. So we'll see if Spring Lake Park now needs to change anything. You've been kind of trying to slow the pace, and now you find yourself down 9. I mean, you don't want to completely abandon what you've been doing, but at the same time, just taking time off when you're down isn't going to help you either. Into Phillips, and he was fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Nice little dish there inside. Phillips has had kind of a sneaky good game for the Panthers.
He's been hustling, doing, what his job is to get him some easy baskets, penetrating, spotting up, shooting around the perimeter. And so for, let's say, Spring Lake Park, they don't want to play fast. They don't want to be in a hurry, but they want to, play with a little pace, because if they can get a rebound, get out in transition, someone gets a dribble penetration, maybe a kick out 3, I mean, they can cut into this lead and make this a ball game. And it's still a game. I mean, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, with them having it so close, throughout the whole game, I'm sure they would like it, this lead to be cut in at least half.
Chapman to Prunella and across. Jarius Cook lining up a three. He's not had his usual night tonight. He's been held to 5 points so far. Say back out to Phillips. He was all alone for the moment after they'd thrown a double on that side. Now Phillips will drive it and no good. And Park Center looking to run. Chapman throwing the lob, and there's Parker for the hammer.
Yeah, that'll get the fans excited. That'll get your teammates excited. That'll get you, aggressive on that defensive end. And there's Elkerton.
Elkerton.
Old school, baby.
Yeah, that's kind of the opposite play there. He barely got off the ground, but he waited until he got fouled. And you see Chapman putting this one on target. Parker says thank you very much.
And we see Elkerton, as we see Parker with the great dunk there, but Elkerton, hustling back on defense and giving his team the opportunity for an and one.
So Elkerton's free throw is good. So he answers nicely with a three-point play. It's a 7-point game, and now Spring Lake Park looking to trap again. Cook whipping it into Danger. Looks cross court with it. Here comes Tomba down low to Chapman, and then that one partially blocked. Remy the other way.
Coach Ware screaming at his team to get back on defense.
Remy forcing it up, no good. Elkerton rebounds. His shot won't go though, and Danger grabs the miss. Purnell, Cook this time looking to drive it. Now Tomba into Danger. They clear out that side for Dane to go to work, and then he finds Cook cutting. Cook is fouled. Cook's doing a nice thing. He's realizing that, okay, my threes haven't been falling. I'm going to start to really attack the basket a little bit more.
Absolutely. He's mixing it up, and it keeps your defender off balance. And as this game is starting to close out and they get, closer and closer to the end, it is important that you attack the rim. And he's a senior. He's experienced. He's been through the ups and the downs of the program and has been, really a part of the upside of it. And, it's just a smart, heady play, realizing that my team is up 7. This is probably a good time to attack the basket.
Cook hits the first and makes the second as well here. That last foul, by the way, was on Myron, and it's his 4th. And so he checks out, and Say comes back in. So not good news for the Panthers is that one of their better ball players is going to probably sit for a little bit here with that 4th foul. Juan down to Elkerton. He looks to attack, goes to the reverse, smart. And he was fouled.
It's smart. And they should have probably spent more time either attacking him on the low post, making Danger play defense, or at least attacking him on the perimeter, making Danger come outside and guard that pick and roll. Because Elkerton has shown the experience, the poise, to really kind of just play calm, cool, and collective and get wherever he wants to get inside the paint.
One more coming here for Elijah Elkerton, the senior for Spring Lake Park, and he makes a pair. So back to a 7-point game. To the baseline, Chapman. Gonna get a blocking foul and score the hoop. Both guys get up a little slow, especially Chapman.
Yeah, that's a tough call, but we can see it from up here. And, Elkerton was in position, but the problem was he was falling before the contact was actually made. And, when you're dead underneath the basket like that, maybe you can make a no call there, maybe not call anything at all. But, I can see, why the referee maybe wanted to make that call there.
So Chapman, a tough finish as he was really off balance by that point, looking to. They're double checking if that basket should count, and the word is yes. And he knocks down the free throw to complete the 3-point play. Park Center, maybe stretching this lead out a little bit. They seem a little looser now. They feel like they're in rhythm a little bit better than they had been earlier in the game.
It feels like an experienced team who kind of understands, all right, this is like Novocaine. It'll settle in eventually if we just continue to be aggressive, be physical, and play, pirate basketball, as they call it, that they would, create a gap like this.
Out to the wing here to Cook. The lead sitting at 10 for Park Center. It's been anything but easy tonight. Chapman back out for Cook. It was knocked away. Cook recovers, and they're over and back.
I like the effort, though. They almost pulled it off.
Tamba just kind of happened to be there, so Cook tipped the ball to him, which, you know, in a normal circumstance would be a good play. However, Tamba was in the back court. You see, Myron has come back in with those 4 fouls. You know, you might see a little offense for defense substitution with him a little bit, but you know, when you're down 10, possibly the last game, you can't, you know, saving him on the bench even with fouls isn't really that much of a help. There's Danger swatting that one from Elkerton. Elkerton was looking around to see where he was. Now the miss by Remy and rebounded by Dane Danger. Now Tamba.
He's trying to locate his body and get a feel of him, but Danger's smart, you know, hanging off of him and just, you know, using his length and his size to block that shot.
Chapman wanted a repeat of the previous one where he drew a foul. Now he misses. Danger, that's going to be no basket. Basket interference as Danger directing that one in. Well, it was still up on the rim, so missed opportunity there for PC. It was hard to tell if it was going to maybe go in anyway, but another look. It should be a good call. A lot of guys on the court are saying, you know, they're impressed even that he was in a position to do that, even though it ended up not counting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the kind of player he is. He, you know, plays every possession.
Myron with the crossover here, kept the dribble alive, and he'll get it to go. Tamba bumped him.
Smart.
He really fooled Tamba with when he was going to go up for that shot, and Tamba just bumped into him. And I think everybody was like, okay, play's over, it's a foul. Yeah. But he still kept the shot going up and straight up and down.
Yeah, but the presence of mind to really just finish all the way through the shot. And that's what's so impressive about these sophomores when you're talking about Remy and Myron. I mean, both of them, they make heady plays. So if you're, you know, for Spring Lake Park, the future's still bright.
Do we see a timeout, Grant? I think the officials are going to confer here. The whistle blew, but nobody was too sure what happened, and it is a timeout for Park Center.
Well, that's your Coach of the Year, 5A Coach of the Year. Referees give you that benefit right there, Jay. Maybe it was, you know, the ball was going to go to the other team, but no, Coach Ware says, we were calling timeout. Referees give Coach Ware the timeout.
Well, a good job by the officials, too, because the official closest to him, obviously, is the one who granted the timeout. Meanwhile, there was action going on with the ball at the other end. You come together real quick and you say, I think he, you know, I had it as him giving him that timeout before the ball came loose, and the official nodded, and that's the call you go with there. So,
yeah, but sitting on that sideline as a coach, I've heard that referee scrum, and what you'll find is the referee with the biggest ego goes, no, I got the call. I saw it. Oh, man, drives us coaches crazy.
Never forget a time when we were doing a playoff game. I believe it was over at Hopkins, and I want to say it was Maple Grove Armstrong. And there was a three-pointer on the run, you know, a quick up-court play. Guy stopped and took a three. Well, they only called it a 2. And so the game went to overtime. Well, it was a clear cut as could be 3, but the one official said, nope, I'm certain of it.
Right.
Wasn't right. In that case, wasn't true.
Right.
Chapman, Park Center looking to really spread the court out now. They've got this big lead. They want to create some driving lanes. There's Chapman for the finish.
Yeah, they're going to look to, you know, maybe go 4 corners, use Danger, put him in a short corner so defender can't locate him, and just use their individual talent and ball handling skill to attack the basket. Someone steps up and help, they'll kick out, shoot an open shot. Otherwise, continue to just attack the paint.
And Remy trying to pass as he was jumping there, and he thought Phillips was going to kind of slide with him, and he didn't, and out of bounds. And that's why coaches will tell you, you know, I don't want to say never, but it's not generally a good idea to jump to pass like that.
No. Things go bad when you jump to pass. I mean, you can even sprain an ankle, you know, jumping to make a pass. And so we always tell kids, stay on the floor. That way, you know, your percentages are higher to complete the play.
Danger on the pick and roll. Nice little touch inside as he floats it in. And Park Center Up by 11 now as we approach 3 minutes to go. The Pirates certainly got a mighty test tonight, but it's looking like they will survive and advance. Myron shooting up a three, no good. Rebound, Juan. Back to Remy, and his jumper no good. Wow, Danger covered a lot of ground to get to that one, and he's hurt. It looked like it could have very easily been a foul on that rebound, but now Chapman looking to attack and went for the dunk and was fouled by Elkerton, and let's hope Danger's all right. Boy, Danger really showed great range to go get that rebound.
Yeah. He sold out the whole time. You know, that ball was live and in the air. And, I mean, just look at him go get it. I mean, he just went to attack it. And, you know, there's Elkerton, I'm sorry. What is he, 260, 270? You know, knocking the young fella down to the floor there.
Chapman to the free throw line there. And no good. Parker and Frierson will come back into the lineup here for Park Center.
Coach Ware going to go defense right now, so he's getting his, you know, the lineup that he needs to defend this, you know, their guards, because their guards are really going to look to dribble, penetrate, and attack the basket, you know, for kick-out shots. So right now with an 11-point lead, trying to make it 12, I'm sure he feels comfortable enough that his defense can get it done and get them out of here with a victory.
Chapman's second free throw is good. So Park Center stretching the lead to a dozen. Spring Lake Park is going to need to really have everything go well for them to battle back into this one at this point. And that's not the case here. Chapman with the steal. Chapman all the way and lays it in.
In the last 5 minutes, Park Center really been picking on Jacob Say. I mean, you know, poor kid, he's just a sophomore, and, you know, he's playing against this physicality and this experience. Early on did a really good job, but Park Center, that continual pressure, that continual, you know, that mentality of being aggressive, being physical, it wears you down. And we see this late in this second half as now Park Center looking to, you know, open this lead up even further.
Cook and Danger come back in here for PC. They're up 14. Pass was tipped and stolen. Here's Remy. A little floater is good. He has 21 tonight for the Panthers, but it looks like it's not going to be quite enough for them. Prunella shovels it to Danger and lays it in. Well, looks like he is back to near full strength after that injury. Playing well tonight.
Yeah, it was a good day for Danger. I mean, came off the bench, you know, and got his rhythm and found his way, and, you know, was impactful this game and an important game.
Myron missed that one, and two Park Center guys fought each other for the ball, end up knocking it out of bounds. See the bench scoring. It's kind of misleading a little bit because Danger comes off the bench right now. He's normally been a starter, obviously, for them, but here's Elkerton with a nice move, and he's battled tough in there tonight. Yeah. I mean, he's not as talented as Danger, you can see that, but he's certainly done a lot of good things for his team too. Chapman behind the back, over to Danger for the finish. That's kind of the exclamation point on this one for Park Center. 14-point lead, over to Phillips to the reverse, no, and Tamba comes out of there with it. See Spring Lake Park kind of running out of energy, I think, to really chase out here now, too.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to be physical, okay? It's just not running. You have to get up against people, push people, and, you know, they're worn down right now, and PC, they're built for that kind of physicality.
Chapman getting that hoop to drop, so it's a 16-point lead. Elkerton trying to answer with a three, no. Tamba will run it back the other way. Tamba, the bounce. Prunella for the layup. Boy, you look up the score in the, you know, online or in the paper or whatever, and you're going to say this one was a rout, but most of the night it wasn't true.
Yeah, it'll be one of those conversations. You had to been there, you know, in order to understand. As we see Danger, you know, taking off and finishing strong at the basket, but you know, Spring Lake Park, no need to hold their heads down. They were in it all the way with just that physicality and you know, that mentality of just playing hard and never dying. And, you know, they feel like they left something on the table last year when they lost to Osseo, right? And so, you know, they're looking to come back and get that rematch. So that's going to be a really, really good game because both teams, you know, out here in the Northwest Suburb, this is the battle for the Royale.
And they split 2 regular season meetings as well. So Friday night at Rogers High School, it's going to be Osseo versus Park Center. And they turn it over, and Remy will get himself another bucket. So a timeout taken late here with 32 to go. So Park Center and Osseo round 3, as we said, coming up for that Section 5 championship. And I think both teams coming into the season thought, that might be a very possible matchup coming in. Osseo really had to battle to get by Champlin Park. Champlin Park basically starting over from last year for the most part. They had Josiah Strong and Benedetto coming back from their state runner-up team, but they had a great year too. And boy, this was that game of tonight, that first semifinal, was a classic playoff finish.
I mean, with Champlin Park losing 2 of their key players this season going off to college, and them having the result that they had, they deserve a lot of credit because they did lose many, many players. And you're talking about, Theo Johns, and you're talking about McKinley Wright. I mean, how do you replace, 30, almost 40 points? And they came back with a really excellent season and played all the way down to a wire. If it was just not for an offensive rebound, maybe they're still playing,
Cook will inbound here for Park Center. They're waiting for the fans to kind of on the edge of the court here. Into Chapman. Panthers looking to trap. They go across to Tamba. Chapman through the alley, but there was no oop. Prunella didn't really see it coming, so Chapman will take the blame for that one. Those kind of plays look really good when they work, but if you're not on the same wavelength, that's what happens.
Right.
Really doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah. Good thing is coach probably won't make you pay for it in practice because it's the end of the season.
Spring Lake Park taking one of their captains, Ben Wan, out for his last time as a Panther. So congratulations to Ben on a nice career. There's a shot, no good. Cook the rebound ahead to Purnell. Purnell will go all the way and get the layup here for Park Center. So one last bucket there for the Pirates, and they are going to win this one. Myron launching from near half court and almost went in, but will not. And Park Center will win it by a final of 76-60. And like we said, you give a lot of credit to Spring Lake Park for hanging in, but also for Park Center for they didn't start pointing fingers or panic when the game wasn't going as well as they would have liked in that first half.
They hung in there the whole time, and sometimes you wonder if your players are going to have a little doubt, especially at halftime. But no, never mind. They were able to maintain poise and really believe in who they were, and they came out the second half and executed defensively and offensively to perfection.
So it will be an all-district 279 battle coming up on Friday night as the Pirates get set to take on old rival Osseo. That's been a rivalry that's gone back a lot of years in boys hoops, and there have been some good ones all throughout the years, and both teams very good again this year, and should be an interesting one Friday night. Let's go down to Allie now with a couple of happy Pirates.
Yeah, guys, I've got Dane Danger and Emmanuel Tamba here. We'll start with Dane. Third matchup between you guys. This is the one that was the closest, if you can call it that, but how'd you guys pull out the win?
We just stuck together. We fought as a team. At halftime, we made some adjustments, came out, played harder, more energy. We just dialed in, played together as a team.
How was this game different? You only played them just 4 games ago.
It's just all mental for me. We just played mental, and then everything was just mind thing. So yeah.
Talk about your defensive effort, because last game you guys allowed them to score 86 points and you shut that down tonight.
Yep. Our defensive effort was good as a team. I think we did well. At halftime we had to make some adjustments, like I said. But like I said, it was just a mind thing. We just had to snap out of it.
How's the body feeling?
Good, real good.
Congrats on a great performance tonight. We'll go over to Emmanuel. This score was so different from that last game. It was much more of an offensive game 4 games ago, and tonight a lot of defense. Talk about how they were different.
They came out playing hard like we expected. We knew it was going to be a dogfight. We won by, I think, 20 both games last time. And we know coming in, it's hard to be a team 3 times. And Coach Ware emphasized that at practice, and we came out and we worked hard at practice on this whole week preparing for this team.
What's the best thing you've got going for this team right now?
Our energy. We like to bring it on defense for sure. You know, we have him in the middle, and we got guards like DT and I and Kahari pressing up the ball, makes it fun for everybody where we leak out and get layups.
You know who you take on next. You've got Osseo, and you know what happened in the regular season. You guys split. Talk about what your thoughts are as you know you're taking them in the championship for the section tournament.
Just try to win. Just win. I'm not going to get into much detail. We just want to win.
You got some practicing to do. Go get a game plan.
Thank you.
All right. Good. Congratulations, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Allie, and congratulations to the Pirates. And there's a look. We will be on hand at CCX on Friday night over at Rogers High School. It is Park Center and Osseo for the section championship. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast. For all of our crew and Ariel McDonald and Allie Arlt, I'm Jay Wilcox. Park Center advancing to the section final with a win here over Spring Lake Park, 76-60.